There, you. Hey, we live. We live. Hold on. It took a second.
Baby, we having fun with the premiere, like the bloopers and oopers.
All right, go ahead, Coach Low. We live, baby.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash, as long as I stick to the.
Hey guys, you right here, man. We're back again with a high school wrap up. Boy, Sunday night football talk, and we got a good one for you tonight, baby. It's going down to the funky sound backed up by James Brown. And I can't do it by myself. But before I do it, I got to let you know who's bringing it to you. Sports Club Florida is bringing it to you every week from now on, the biggest and the baddest show in the business right now. So make sure you tune in to sportsclubflorida.com. But I know y'all know Coach Lowe, aka the Cap King. Boy, I got some hosts with me. They're gonna give it to you straight up and raw, right there in the state of Florida. We're gonna take it nationwide. I got the man with the plan, Coach Katt, R&R Media. Boy, no one do it better than my boy Coach Katt. And then right beside
y'all
him,
know what it is.
You already know what it is. But Coach Katt, we gotta let them know who's sitting right beside us. It's the Mr. Right Choice. Oh my God, shot by 9. If
They told me that.
started, I don't know who did it. But listen, guys, I'm so excited, man, to get this going, to get it off the ground. We're live right here, man. We're going to give it to them straight and raw, right from the footage, right from the video. We're talking about a lot. Katt, break it down to me. Give me a topic, Tat. What we're going to talk about to Coach Katt? Give it to him.
Well, tonight we'll be talking about a couple of different topics. We'll be talking about the top 10 teams here in Central Florida, as well as a couple of game reviews from this past weekend, especially TFA versus Lipscomb. That's up in Tennessee. Our boys here at home went up there and handled business 28-23, but we'll break that down for you a little bit later.
That's what also we want to throw in. We talked about breaking down another game too, because they hit on the next day because of Thunder Lightning. They had to delay and push it back to the next day. Had a pack house that Friday night. It's, of course, them Blue Daughters of Popka High School versus Old Cora, arch rivals. We got to break that down. There was a lot of grinding and deepness of games. So we're excited to break that down too. Mr. Right Choice, we got you on right now. You're hosting it with us. Give it to us, man. Give us some love.
Oh, what's some love, man? I'm just glad you guys were able to get on, even though Katt sounds like his elevator. He's in an elevator, but we still keep rolling. No, but man,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Nah, man. Look, you guys. I know you guys just tuning in. We supposed to start it 2 weeks ago, but life happens. You know, Katt was busy, Coach Lowe was busy, but it's kind of good thing that it did. We have a little rain delay this week, so we can kind of catch up and give you guys our top 10, our top players, or whatnot. We got a new site that's coming out, so we're gonna have our own rankings pretty soon too as well, with Coach Lowe and Coach Katt. But before I go dive deep on in, let's go over our top 10 real quick, you guys. Coach Lowe, Coach Katt, who's the top 10 teams that you guys had written down? I don't know if you got the graphic or not. If you did it,
no, we're gonna start off at number 10.
Oh,
number 10. I did not get a chance to finish the graphic, but that will be dropping later on our social media platforms. Make sure that you are subscribed to those at Sports Club Florida and R&R Sports Media. And don't forget Coach Lowe for life. Hello. All right. Hey, but let me go ahead and pull that up for you real quick. At number 10.
Number 10.
Coming in. This was a team that we just put on our top 10, just cracked the top 10. And that's TFA with a big win versus Lipscomb, a team that is a national team. Played last year on ESPN out of Nashville, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. All right. At number 9, we have one of your favorites, Coach.
Who?
Go ahead, Dr. Phillips.
Them Panthers.
Tell them why you felt Dr. Phillips deserved to be on this list.
A lot of time when you're picking the schools that are going to be a top team or picking a team that be a top 10, a lot of times you got to look at what they did last year, and that's pretty much it. And a lot of times look at what they have coming back, right? I look at it a little deeper when I start looking at team. Dr. Phillip had one of the best head coaches in the country, to my opinion, and to a lot of others' opinion, because he did go to the state championship, he's a state champion and a state runner-up, right? Produced multiple NFL players that's currently still playing the NFL right now to this very day. But his coaching style, his coaching staff, the way they run their program, run their team, it's just second to none, right? They had a young rebuilding year last year, but this year coming out with one of the top linemen and a lot of top players, a lot of young guys that now got the experience to play the game, know the game. They got a very strong quarterback with Stanley right now. So I just know that with a coaching staff, with a head coach like Coach Rottenwell, and have the experience and have a lot of coach or players coming back that play the state championship, that all over the summer, their work ethics in the weight room, you can't never count them out because they always go to the playoff. And I feel like that's the sleeper team for me. And I still feel like they're one of the top teams in the state of Florida, or Central Florida.
I will piggyback on that one as well. They were a very young team last year. Um, one of my favorite guys, Michael, he told me that they were definitely going to be very good this year. Another couple of guys that they have that are kind of standouts. One who just came back onto the field, Mr. Lincoln. Um, I can't pronounce his last name. It starts with a T. Teravas. I'm not sure, but either way, Lincoln is number 0. He will be a big factor on that team this year. So keep your heads on a swivel, and not to mention they're I was going to say all American, all county safety in KJ as well. Okay, so
Exactly.
I think they have a lot of talent, and they do deserve to be on the list. Okay, but let's go on to the next number 8. At number 8, we have D Land High School. Um,
Mm.
Last year, they had TJ Moore. They had a very good deep run. Max Preps had them highly touted to actually be in the rankings as well in this area. But what do you feel about D Land, Coach?
Well, here's one thing. A lot of once again, I'm big on coaching. That's one thing about me. And when you
Yes, sir.
got a coach like Rick Darlington as a head coach for your team, you already know right then that
Yeah,
anything is
that's
possible, right? He can take nothing and make it out of something easily, right?
yes,
He
sir.
come in with a different mindset, or prepare to die for my brother, right? He have
Yes,
a
sir.
strong buy-in. Right now, I already know from last year, D-Land has already bought in. So Rick Dalton himself alone as a head coach definitely have his team ready to go into the playoff every single year, no matter where he go and what program he go to. Yeah, they are going to replace somebody, which is hard to replace a guy like Justin Moore, who's at Albany State, TJ Moore, and all them guys. It's hard. Justin Brown, I'm sorry. These guys, it's hard to replace these guys, but at the same time, before he got there, not a lot was going on. But then all of a sudden, they deep in the playoffs. So Rick Darlington, that's why they won the top 10 teams.
Uh, you're absolutely correct. But we'll go on to the number 7 team on our list. That is Bishop Moore.
Ooh,
Bishop Moore.
yes.
Um, this is another team that was not on a lot of people's radars, but we wanted to make sure that we gave them the recognition that they deserved. Bishop Moore has always been a highly competitive team versus anybody, and especially when they play Edgewater. I don't know, it can go either way. You hear me? So, Coach, talk about Bishop Moore and some of the pieces that they have coming back and how you expect them to fare this year.
Well, I mean, when you look at Bishop Moore, you think about a private school, and not a private school that board the kids or try to recruit from all over the world to bring them in, or they
Yeah.
get them from right here. And you understand their standard. So people look at them as just a regular school, but realistically, when I look at Bishop Moore, I'm talking about a top 7A public school like a Edgewater,
Yeah.
like a Osceola. I put them on that level, and don't forget they
Yes, sir.
are a state champion too. 5A state champion team also. So you can't put them in a really a private school category. You got to kind of put them in a category that they play in the big league, in my opinion. And especially when you got guys that came out there like Ben Delusion, them guys there who play in the league at the time. They produce NFL players too from there. And Coach Hendry, as a coach at Bishop Moore, does a great job preparing this guy even for the next level. But it was a kind of little a strong hit when they lost Jake Correll to IMG, one a 5-star defensive end with over 40, 50 offers from Power 5.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous about that at first. But then all of a sudden, when we see them line up against Osceola, and I got the quarterback, DeJarn Burton. Bjorn. That's how Bjorn commit to University of Virginia, another Power 5 school. Right? I mean, hey, you can't go wrong. Then I got Corey Austin over there, wide receiver, doing some amazing thing. But then I got one of the, probably in my opinion, one of the top cornerbacks around. And he's class of 2026. You got Trent Gomer, and he can lock down anybody at any time. And then someone beat him, next play, he's ready to go from there also too, right? So they got some real good key pieces, even though they lost a big-time defensive end out of Jake Correll, but they got some real big pieces like their linemen. Guys' name you probably never even heard of. It might go to NAIA school or a small school, but guys like Grant Allen, you're like, who's that kid? Well, he's the one that pulling and knocking people's helmet off in the game. They're like, where did he come from? So that's a couple of pieces. I definitely see them doing exactly what they do for the last 10, 15 years, is continue going deeper in the playoff and having a great season.
Well, Bishop Moore is a team that's always going to be in the running every year. They're, as I said before, they're highly competitive. But what I was excessively impressed by was them last week, because we didn't get to see them this past week. Last week, one of our I was going to say 2028 freshman standouts, and Mr. Ron, he had a screen to the house in the final seconds to put them up over Osceola Cowboys. And I'm excessively just proud of the young man, Mr. Ron Schroeder. And I'm to be honest, I've never seen this amount of freshmen come in and impact the game, a high school game, this quick. So I'm just excited to see high school football these upcoming few years. But let's go on to the next number 6. Number 6, Osceola Cowboys. This team is always another strong competitive team who is healthy. They're healthy this year, Coach. All right. Now, what do you have to say about the Cowboys?
Well, you know what? If a lot of people are looking at a lot of different rankings that went out there, and we're looking at a lot of top running backs, like who's the top runner, who is top running back, or even the top player in Central Florida or the state of Florida. And with one of the top players kind of hurt last year, and probably didn't reach the goal that he was expecting to get or the expectation. It was also had lots of changes. You had a linebacker that was hurt, Menendez, that committed to University of Miami Hurricane, which probably one of the top linebackers in the business, in my opinion.
Yes.
I mean, he's back from injury. He has Swint. So when you talk about football itself, on both sides of the ball, I got a top player. You got the Swint who committed to UCF, and they love him to death. I hear from Coach Gus on all the time. So when you're thinking about it, when you look at somebody, look at Osceola, at any time he can break. He's not a guy that's going to break into you 5 or 10 yards. He got what we call top end speed. That means once he breaks for 50, he also turned a whole nother gear. And that's what separates him from a lot of running backs probably all around the country. So with that combination right there, and one of the best out of American cornerback, and then you have Flash itself. I mean, this kid right here, Flash, AJ Jenkins, wow. If you see the touchdown he did against Bishop Moore, against one of the top cornerbacks, Trent Gomer, that tells that these guys still have the talent. So Osceola always going to be in the running, and you can't walk in there saying that we're going to beat them. You walk in there saying that I hope we beat them. So definitely.
Hey, one of the best things that I like about Osceola is not about the skills. They have some of the top linemen around on that line. Number 77, I do not remember his, I think it was 77. I can't remember his name. He came to the media day, and the young man, his new name is Big Nasty. Okay,
Big
go look for Big Nasty on the line, and probably the one who's dogging somebody and on top of them, Pancake City. That's probably
uh-huh.
him. Okay,
Right.
but he is not the only one. There's about three biggins. I'm talking about over 6 foot three, um, almost 300 pounds, if not 300 plus pounds already. So they have a prototypical line that I am excited to see this year as well. Okay.
Right.
But let's
Yes,
go
sir.
on. We're going on to our number five, the number five team
Five
in
alive.
Central Florida. The number fifth team in Central Florida is Lake Mary Rams, my guy. Go ahead and elaborate a little bit on that, Coach.
You know, when you say late Mary Rams, you always say like, well, what is these guys gonna do when they line up to play football each year? You don't even have the expectation of late Mary Rams, right? Because you know, in youth football, late Mary already been a good solid team. They disciplined, but you never expect them to line up against some of these top powerhouse schools and actually beat them and produce a lot of great players out of Lake Mary too. I mean, you're talking about right now, you have one of the star nickels right there, UCF, right there with Brandon Marshall coming out of Lake Mary, right? So they do produce a lot of great athletes, but this is not 7-on-7. One thing about Lake Mary, they have a quarterback that can throw a 40 touchdown in 7-on-7 and come right back in the football game and do the exact same thing with pass arm.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
lets you
sir.
know that you're a real true quarterback, right? Because if you can do what you can do in 7-on-7 and live to do it up in a football game with 300-pound, 200-pound lineman coming at you, you got a pretty good quarterback. Noah Gruff. Everybody gonna
Noah
talk about him.
Grubbs.
They're gonna talk about him all the time. Why? Because he is that guy. He committed to my son Automata. I'm a Notre Dame dad. It was so you already know I got to talk about it. He is a true Irish, as you can see. Matter of fact, if you look at it from there, I even got the helmet over there.
You see
So
him back over
you
there?
know, yeah, I got the helmet over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, but definitely, Lake Mary got some really good weapons. They solid. One thing about Noah Grubbs, he can make a wide receiver actually look good. He can be an average receiver. All you gotta do is get in the right place. Noah Grubbs gonna make it happen. I mean, just like he made it happen down there when they played Carter Gibbons. Man, did you see that score?
All right. The score for Cardinal Gibbons this past week. Lake Mary actually got a chance to play this weekend because they were not at home. They went down to Cardinal Gibbons, one of the top teams in Florida. Max Preps had them ranked at number 16, I want to say that was.
They're
Um,
14.
it was it was in the
What?
teams. They were in the
Yeah, the
top
team. Yes, sir.
25
Yeah.
team.
Mm-hmm.
But they were knocked off by Lake Mary, uh, 49 to 20.
20.
All
Ooh.
right. And so it was a decisive win for the Lake Mary Rams. Big shots out to you guys, and you guys are the real deal.
I
Okay.
want to I want to shout out right quick before we go to Scott Perry, the head coach at Lake Mary, doing an amazing job. Been there for a whole lot of years and continue to win and have a winning tradition at the Lake Mary Ram. They got a great program and a great feeder program. And shout out to the player of the game down there. You had player of the game down there against Carter Gibbon. You had Tanner Jump. He played tight end, DN, and guard. Had a great game. Player of the game. Also, they have player of the game Isaiah Thomas, running back and wide receiver also. So shout out to them guys there. You also had Luke Frito, outside linebacker, and you had Emilio, kicker and punter. So them four guys went down to Carter Gibbon. Not only won 49-20, came out as Max Prep player of the game. And we're excited to add on to that 98 Sports Club Florida player of the game.
Hello. All right. Now we're going on to the next team. That's our number 4 team on the list. Is none other than the Seminoles.
Ooh,
Hello.
hello.
Coach Calhoun and his team has always had a culture of being a tough-nosed team. Because they're from Bokeem, baby. That's the Bo-Key culture. That's the Bo-Key way. All right. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit about Bo-Key and where they stand.
Well, every year you already know they're going to be rated in the top 10 around here regardless because
Yes.
they continue producing over and over and over. I don't know if they got a factory, they got a machine. I don't know if they clone the athletes. I don't know what it is, but somehow they reproduce and reproduce top athletes right there at Sanford all the way back into 2010 when they had the Miami Great and the St. Louis Ram Ray Armstrong and them guys back then. They continue to build a tradition, a foundation and Sanford. And one thing great about Sanford, the city definitely get behind them. But with the coach that took over the last couple of years, continue to win. And don't forget now, Sanford is one of the few. Coach Calhoun, Coach Sanford is one of the few teams that have won a state championship. And that speaks volume. That's one of the things big by them. And then not only winning state championship, they're also producing, like I say, NFL player. Now,
NFL players. Doug,
excuse me. Let me chime in real quick. Okay, so I know you guys got a rank right there, but how do y'all feel about the Jones game when they played against each other? Even though we haven't talked about them just yet, do y'all still feel that ranking still holds up to that after that game? Why is that, Katt?
Yes. At the end of the day, Jones is a juggernaut, boy. That knocked them from the number 2, number 3 team down a spot because I still feel I'm not gonna say confident. I still feel that the Seminoles are better than a lot of other teams that are on this list. Okay. So until they actually drop 1 or 2, and let's be real, that game was a preseason kickoff classic, which it doesn't count, but it does allow us to see exactly what they are going to be working on and so forth. All right. But I think that Seminole is still a very impressive team. And at the end of the day, you got to beat the man to beat the man.
I'll take that. So I guess we'll go more in depth after we finish this top 10. So who we got next? Because I got some comments over here. So as soon as we wrap up some of these top 10, we can go into them.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that too. So definitely we'll come back to that game.
Okay. All right. We're going back to the list. We're going to our number 3 team on the list. That is the Edgewater Eagles. Coming off of a big win in London versus the NFL Academy. I'm not sure what the score was. Do you recall what that score was last week, Coach?
Hold on 1 second. I actually do have that score for you guys. Give me 2 seconds real quick. That score was 51-45.
51-45. That's a lot of points, good Lord.
Hey, but that's a lot of points, but that's a huge win to
points on the board.
But they just travel. How many hours that is? They traveled all the way there and still came out with a W. That's a lot of points though, but they came out with a W though.
Well, just to piggyback on that right there with Edgewater Eagles, shout out to Coach Duke because just to put the kids in a situation and get them gaining some experience of a lifetime to fly all the way up there across the country, land up, experience the world something different, their mindset a whole nother level, and then line up and play a football game with one of the top teams around. You're talking about NFL Academy. They got a lot of NFL kids on former NFL players, kids on the team. They got great coaching up there. They did something with the EA Sports, and there was a big event, a big deal. They allowed them to get some good players. NFL Academy, they actually put some guys in school, and they got some nice guys with some Power 5 offers. So line up against them boys was no piece of cake. But at the same time, to come in and could produce and put the numbers up like that against that team, that's be volume. Now, and for that team to put numbers up on Edgewater, who at one point was ranked in the nation at top 15 in the nation last year, undefeated season, multi years, the tradition of going to the state championship, and with guys that got Power 5 offers, like last year you had a kid that's right up to Florida State and Miami and North Carolina.
And to add, NFL Academy did play IMG last year, and they actually beat them.
Right.
Um,
So yeah, so that
so
speaks volume. They
that was
paying.
that was an impressive win for the Edgewater, a huge win for that program
Yeah.
and Coach Duke.
Yeah. Well, let's
Okay.
come back and talk about that there too, because there's some players we definitely want to recognize on that right there,
Yeah.
and our sports club Florida players of the week. I like that too.
Okay. Hey, let's go on. Well, let's go on. Let's complete the list real quick. We're going on to number two, our number two team. To be honest, I was back and forth. We were back and forth. We didn't know which one should be one, which one should be number two. But these teams are interchangeable. At number two, though, this week we'll land Cocoa Tigers. Okay. Coach, talk about this the Cocoa Tigers, a team that is always deep in the playoffs in here in Florida if they aren't winning the championship themselves. Talk about them.
Well, Coco, I mean, you already know that the rich tradition of Coco always come down to it. They come to winning state championship. Coco do probably have some of the most state championship than anyone around here, especially in Central Florida. I mean, they're on the same level as a Miami area team. They always go to state championship, win state championship, like St. Thomas Aquinas, who they already have to fight and battle. But definitely, whatever matter what level they're on, where they are 3A, they move them up 3A, 4A, 5A, 7A. They compete against some of the best, and it's a toss up too. You know, Coach Ryan is a great coach, and the players they got, and they got a big commit right there, the deepest end, they're going to Florida State also, and they got a quarterback Brady Hart, which is man, and his was great about Brady Hart. When you talk about Noah Grubb, you kind of got to put Brady Hart in that category because Brady Hart is actually a 2026. So you talking about young guys going to keep coming back. So another program that keep producing top athletes and a top program from there, Coco. And I'll be honest, the only reason why I pretty much kind of went with Jones, well, kind of throw the cat out the bag, but went with Coco second because our number one team, they like I say, they beat a top powerhouse team real early in the season and put a lot of points up. So that's why my thoughts on Coco.
There it is. All right. And last but not least, our number one team here in Central Florida is Jones Tigers. The Fighting Tigers. They did not get to play yesterday, but what is your take on the Jones Tigers?
Well, I, if you think about the top 10 teams, it always led by a good head coach who changed the game, who changed the tradition, it changed the way things are done. And once you change the game, change tradition, the way things are done, people are gonna flock. And people flock to be a tiger, flock to play for the tiger and get behind the tiger. So and then so when you do that there and you're winning and you get kids in college, they're gonna line up some of the best of the best. And man, as you know, Joe Tigers does something that a lot of people wish they could do, and we call it air raid. I call it ATC, air traffic control. Joe Tiger will throw that ball up and down that field. They've been doing
They
forever.
will
They
do that.
they dare you. They dare you to go man to man. They're gonna challenge you, as you can see. And think about it, we're gonna talk about a little bit more with the Jones in the Sanford game, so I don't want to get too much into it. But I will say, I feel this year, Jones High it's their state championship.
I
They
concur.
are, they gonna pass the hump
I
this year.
concur.
You saying, Coach Lowe?
Yes, they are.
Man, like Jones is a juggernaut right now. And from what they did this off season, going down to Miami, winning the UM 7-on-7, and that was with a whole bunch of running backs and some of their top guys without Vernell. Okay,
Right, right.
so they have weapons, and to be honest, it's a lot of young weapons that a lot of people don't know about. But again, as you say, coach 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 is all about his culture, and you have to be about, if you want to be a tiger, you got to be about the tigers and not
Tiger.
about yourself. You get me? So by all means, all of these kids have bought in, and again, I do think this is another Jones team that we will be seeing at the end of the year, after Thanksgiving. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely see, man. So that's definitely our top 10 right there, Coach Katt. Coach Katt, let's run it down from top to bottom. Our top 10 of everybody know. This week, how it can change at any time. You lose, you out. You win, you're in.
All right, all right, all right. One more time just for everyone. All right. At number one, Jones. At number two, Coco. At number three, Edgewater. At number four, Seminole. At number five, Lake Mary. At number six, Osceola. At number seven, Bishop Moore. At number eight, D-Land High School. At number nine, Dr. Phillips. And coming in at the number 10 spot, that's TFA, the First Academy.
Yes, sir. There you heard it right there. That's that top 10 right there.
All right.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about a couple of the scores. Just going over
Real,
a couple of the scores that I found
real
this
quick before you
week.
say that, I know you're about to go over the scores. I want to go over one of the
Okay.
scores that kind of caught my eye. The IMG game and losing by 1. Did that catch you by surprise on that one?
Yes.
That's that score right there. I know on social media everybody was very surprised. The score was they played Cornell Canyon. I think that's how you say it. The score was 35-34. Let me see if they got some stats here. They don't. We got to sign into Max Pro. How do y'all feel
All
about
right.
that?
Go ahead, Katt.
Y'all want an honest opinion or y'all want the sugar?
I want the
prefer-
honest opinion.
I want an honest opinion.
Y'all want I might get in trouble for this one.
Hey, listen, you
Might
on
be
sports.
the hospital for this
Hey,
one.
you on Sports Club Florida. Give it to them raw. You give it to
gonna
them raw.
be honest, okay? I gotta be completely honest. All right. So IMG is an academy. It is something that is a business, and it is, if you come to IMG, you are going to college. This is a prep program for you to get acclimated to the college experience and self-management for yourself. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we are dealing with high school kids, all right, who still want to enjoy themselves, all right, and have the high school experience. So you will see a lot of top guys going to IMG and then all of a sudden they leave because they still want their hometown experience and their hometown hero experience. You get me? So, with that being said, I'm just setting the table so you can understand where I'm going. COVID. Before COVID, I feel that IMG was on a downward spiral. St. Francis came down here, beat them several times. They were not the same IMG as in years past. But as soon as COVID happened, there was nowhere for anybody to play
Right.
except IMG. So all of the top kids flocked to IMG. And as of right now, I still feel that they're on the tail end of that prestige that they had from COVID. So to be honest, to say whether or not it was a 1 point fail or not, I really think that the kids that are there are not the same. I think that the kids that are there are not, they're just not the same. But I will tell you this, there are dogs there that I know are dogs and will not stand for taking more than one L. Okay? I will tell you this, IMG is not a place that will get 2 and 3 losses in a row. Uh, Look for them to bounce back next year. Next game. Okay?
Right.
They will be back and they will score a lot of points. But
Well,
again,
go ahead.
Go ahead, talk about it.
What?
Talk about it. Elaborate. Am I wrong? Am I right? Talk to me, baby. I just had to make it. I had to keep
Well,
it a
yeah.
little raw.
Well, y'all know I'm not from here. I'm an Alabama guy, so you know our IMG was Hoover, and
Yeah, Hoover was that team too. Don't get it wrong now. Don't get it twisted now. They had Hoover on TV. They had on TV series. So I don't know. Hey, Hoover, boy. Boy, hey, they had Rob. I remember Robbie Lee Montgomery was the team. Then Hoover came out. Everybody, it was over. Robert Lee Hoover. So you already know how Hoover is. But IMG. I mean, I've been dealing with them since DeAndre Francois went down there. And you're right. When they had DeAndre Francois and all them guys down, it was a powerhouse. It was a privilege and an honor, especially to get even into IMG. But you're right. Once the COVID hit, a lot of things changed. They had different rules and different qualification on how they did things or what case might be. But now,
No, I will say this. COVID allowed them to rebuild and bulk up on talent and prestige because there was nowhere for any good player to play. And the
right.
only team and the only school that was playing games at that point was IMG. So you had kids who were there already who had to leave because there was an influx of talent coming from all over the place.
so
It was like it was really like the transfer portal for high school that
so
year.
real quick. So was it beneficial for the kid? I don't know his name, but I heard about him. The kid from Bishop Moore to go to IMG. Well, he got the same amount of off from
All
from
right.
the outside looking in. I heard that he was already good, had all the offers already at Bishop Moore. So what was the purpose of going to IMG if he already had all these accolades already?
The thing is, when you hold yourself as a professional, when you perform and hold yourself as a professional, you want other people who are in the same like mindset as you.
Mhm.
Being environment is a key part of development.
Hmm.
So you tell
And
so Bishop Moore don't
that
got good environment?
environment,
Well, now
I'm
Bishop
not
Moore
gonna
got a
say
good environment.
I'm not gonna say Bishop Moore is not a
No,
great environment. Bishop
right.
Moore is a great environment. But at
Okay.
the end of the day, for us to say that Bishop Moore's athlete is the same type of athlete that's at IMG, that's malarkey. That's me just being just talking.
Why you saying
That
big word? Why you saying big words on sports club for anyway?
Because
Malarkey.
man,
we talking about a big topic. You want a big word? It's a big topic. We talk about IMG. We talk about 5-star. We talk. Hey, we got to do it big or don't do it at all because
Oh, give me your perspective then, Coach Lowe. Your perspective. What?
well, here's what we got to remember too. A lot of time, when most players go to a school like IMG, Katt is right. Ray Lewis said it best. Hang with people that want what you want. Now, I'm not saying people at Bishop don't want what Jake Farrell wanted. I mean, but there's not 55 Jake Corrells at Bishop Moore. Now, if I go to IMG, when I walk in the locker room, I got Gavin Nixon over here, committed to Miami Hurricane, one of the top linebackers in the country. And then the guy that's sitting right beside him is another top linebacker in the country too. So when it all said and done, every time I wake up, go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm eating with top players, 4 or 5-star players every single day. So the mindset is different. My preparation is different. My development going to be different. And now when I get ready to go to college, I'm prepared to walk on the field as a freshman and be ready in every aspect. And also, IMG also develop you because you stay in your dorm room. You already college preparation, college prep, you're on your own responsibility, time management. So hey, and when you're a high level guy like Jake was, it fits in a sense. Now, could it have
let,
been stayed?
let me
Could it
pick
have
it.
stayed?
Let me
Go
chime
ahead.
in. Another thing is, right, here at Bishop Moore, right, we all know he's the guy. You get me? We all understand that he is the guy. You get me? At IMG, everybody got 40 offers.
Right,
Everybody got to get held accountable now. You get what I'm saying? It's a
right.
different level of accountability because you can get replaced.
Right.
There at Bishop Moore, you are the guy. For me to say that I'm gonna find 50 other Jake malarkey.
Well, you said
Another
you
big
just
word.
you just
Another big word. There
he
he
said, look, no, but I will say this: you did say something that it speaks a lot of volumes. I don't know how many kids will actually take up that challenge. You said he was the guy at Bishop Moore. By him going to IMG, he's a guy amongst a whole bunch of guys. So he has to fight for opportunity. That's like going to university. That's like going to Alabama. They got everybody's 5-star there. So I get what you're saying.
Hold on real quick. This is the thing. Jake Cruel is a kid that I've known since he was in the 4th grade. He's been getting doubted since he was little. I'm talking about 10U. No one believed in Jake. Jake believed in himself, put in the work every single camp he came back better and better. This is someone who chases the challenge. This is someone who chases to be great. And he doesn't care what is in front of him because he has like dedication and determination is a decision. And he's been made that decision long time ago. So all he's doing is just going to an environment that's gonna sharpen.
I like how you put
Well,
that together though.
well, I like how you said the word decision. So I hope when he make his commitment, it's a decision.
Hey, they need more than Jake.
They need more than Jake. They need a quarter. They need a quarter.
Okay, we need.
They need a. They need a. Why would you put that hat on when you just lost to Georgia Tech?
I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard. And
He was a
I need Jake Crowell to go to Florida State, okay, and stop playing games around here. We already lost Gavin to Miami, and I need. I train. Look, Jake played my part one team. Jake played my part one team. Jake coached and trained with us, and you were right. Came to the camp, dominated. His parent behind 100%. Made sure in the right place to be the greatest. One thing I love about great Jake, the decision they made, it wasn't him. It just by himself, a family decision. And they did it the right way, and they moved on for big and better things. And their mindset, do what they need to do. And hey, shout out to Jake. Good luck down at IMG. All I do know, if you're gonna go to IMG, don't go down there and be a bust, because I'm looking at stats right now, and I heard that IMG was up by 14 points at halftime, and they got walked down, gave up 21 unanswered points, surviving a failed 2-point conversion to get done. As Cinders and snapped the 18-game winning streak. They snapped the 18-game winning streak, man. Hey.
Who was their last loss?
Who was their last loss? Miami Central.
Miami Central.
Dog, Miami Central's like. Did Miami Central just get beat by Lakeland?
I want to get
we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, but we're not being on here all night. I'm not being on here all night with you guys. Look,
listen.
Katt
Lakeland just went down south and did the unthinkable. Nobody thought that they would have came back with a win, but they walked away with a 21-20 win over the mighty Central Rockets. And boy, Miami is fuming right now. I'm telling you that right now. They are gonna be.
And listen,
the States is gonna be a problem.
listen. Boscow beat up on Chaminade, and Chaminade was number 9, Boscow number 34. So we can go ahead and add that to the pot too. Bishop Gorman sit there 29-21, whooped up on St. Thomas Aquinas. Aquinas, and then Lakeland go down there and whoop up, and then Lake Mary go whoop up Carlton Givens.
It wasn't South Florida. It just wasn't South Florida weekend.
And they close it up. American Heritage go out there and lose to Milton, Georgia. If they say Florida's the best football state, well, we better tighten up. My question is, are we weakening our teams by everybody going to so many different places, NIL money, getting guys to come to their school? what is going on, or is Georgia money bigger where they get all the best players come from their school and they putting up on
Coach,
and they beating all the Florida schools?
Coach,
What's
I'm
going on?
gonna keep it completely frank with you.
What's that,
Everybody ain't
Frank?
getting no money. Everybody ain't getting no NIL money.
I know.
Jones is.
What is?
Everyone is not getting money.
Some
I'm
of them.
telling you this because everybody don't have. First of all, support systems are huge. Okay, support systems are huge. That's you, parents. If you don't understand the game before your child is actually here in the game, you did a disservice to your child. Because they can't make the decisions or make the what you call it if you don't understand, because you ain't gonna pay no money to take him to Timbuktu. You don't, if you don't understand that you have to go to the campus to actually get a scholarship, to get a real committable offer, and you just feel like, oh, he's just I ain't got the money for that. You dropped the ball, parent. So I'm gonna be honest. One of the biggest players that's around here, one of the biggest NIL players around here, Vernell Brown. His dad, his support system
Yes, sir.
has been ready for this for years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he talked. We did an interview. We did an interview with him a couple of weeks. I think the other month with on Listen to Low show. Very very good. He talks very well. His dad, very highly. Yeah, I can understand
And
why.
his dad was on Florida Gator staff. That's a highly educated man right there, man.
Yeah.
So
Well,
by
what?
all means,
Well, you know what?
that's
But
not a surprise.
you know what? I think we might well roll on to this here because you
What,
just
Coach
talked
Lowe?
about you didn't talk about one of the top players around. Burning.
I was gonna bring him anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it show you can be top, but how do you know if you're top? I asked this question the other day. Am I a top player in the game or I'm a top player at practice? What made me a top player? I said it's both. And he proved it when he busted up them Sanford Seminole. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Coach Lowe, we ain't about to be here.
You all right? You all right? You all right? Make sure you okay.
We ain't gonna be here all night. Hey, now he bad. Now Vernell, hey, he bad now though. I like him because he's very he's humble, man. He's very he's humble. He talks very well, very professional. By me being on camera a lot and interviewing kids, like he's one of the top ones that we have sat down with and articulated his words and every single thing. So I can see why that he got an NIL deal in high school, because look how he carries himself, and he proves it on the football field easily. From punt return, why are they punting to him? Why are teams punting to him? Coach Lowe, why are teams punting? Why?
Listen, it's just something about football. It's almost like the sport volleyball. They tell you, don't serve the ball to the girl in a different shirt because she's libero, the best player. And they serve it to her anyway. The coach said, did not tell you not to serve it to him. It's something about that, like, oh, don't punt at him, don't punt it, and they do it anyway. And it's just what it is. At the same time, if you punt it somewhere else, you might have Larry Miles over here, you might have Michi over here, you might have, I don't know, there's so many of them jokers on that team. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's just
have you ever heard of the law of attraction? If you think about it too much and you say you don't want it to happen, guess what's
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
That punter is over there saying to himself, I can't kick it to Vernell. I can't kick it to Vernell. And boom, I kicked it to Vernell.
Well, I know one thing. I tell you one thing. That Jones have an air raid that's amazing. Kind of remind me of Edgewater. I'm interested to see who put up the most points this year. Edgewater got a strong air attack, but that Jones high, man. That doggone Dowell Coleman, the University of Miami commit. You got Vernell, the University of Florida Gators commit. I got a 2026 kid that's Larry Miles on the outside over there, and then you pop on the defensive side. You got a freshman Michi from freaking what?
Michi. Oh, Michi. Oh yeah, I heard of that.
2 interception, a
Mitchell had
pick
a
six,
pick
and knocked the heck out of one of the boys over there. I'm gonna put him in the hospital. They had to call
I
911.
like Michi. I like Michi, boy. I liked him at 14U.
Let me go and get Mitchell real name so y'all can stop
Yeah,
calling him Mitchell.
Dimitri. I call him
Real
Dimitri.
name.
Yeah, I know.
His real name gotta
Hey,
be
Hey,
put out.
so
we gotta start getting the real names.
It's
hold on, real quick.
Hold on, I gotta get
Re-
his last name.
While you looking for his name, you know who else stood out like that? Like Vernell did? Jabari. Jabari went crazy with Kava.
Smith from Wakanda.
Akiva.
Yeah, he went crazy like Vernell did.
Yeah, he's a player. He a both-way player, two-way player though. What separate Jabari Smith from more people at Wakiva? He's a two-way player. He go to offense, score a touchdown, defense get an interception, special team
And
kick with first shot. I'm like, my God, he a one-man band over there. He want I don't care. No one say he
I'm
committed.
still
He's a
I'm still
sleeper in my opinion.
look,
But
look. I said the same thing too with the nothing wrong with USF, not knocking USF, but I'm surprised too as well how he's very man. I like Jabbar. He's a sleeper on my list, man. He attacks the ball. He's very aggressive. He's a hothead sometimes, but I take that for how passionate he is about the game. He's very good on both sides of the field,
yeah.
and he's a leader too as well.
Coach, we're gonna keep him in check. Don't worry about that.
By the way, Michi's name is Dimitri Pryor. Last year, he was one of the top players in the nation for the West Orlando Jags.
He was a
And
baller last year,
man
boy.
is coming into it, he's coming into the season with a pick six, making his name known on defense.
As a
By all
freshman,
means,
freshman.
that's something you
That's
can't
crazy.
take away from him.
Man, the class of
That's something you can't take
2028.
away from him.
Exactly.
All right.
You know what?
Hey, I would say one thing, all right, for all of you youth footballers who really want to be impactful on the next level, okay? The number one position, I'm gonna say number two position. It's two positions that you can get on the field right away because of size and instinct. First of all, instinct is something you can't reteach. Once you got it, you got it. Okay? So, defensive end and outside linebacker. Those two spots right there, if you have size and you've been playing or you've been playing running back and outside linebacker, hone in on your defensive skills, sir. If you're trying to get on the field earlier than later, get your reps, get your varsity footage earlier than later. Play ball, fellas.
So what you're saying is when it's time to go to these camps, when there are 500 receivers over here and 100 DBs over here, go to DB.
Yeah, you gotta. That's one. That's hey, coach. One of our shows that we gotta do. Not right now. It'll probably be in a couple of weeks. And we have to talk about camp etiquette, coach.
Oh,
Yeah, I hate the fact that these kids are coming to a interview.
uh-oh.
I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna replay that to you.
Uh-oh.
You are coming to a interview and you're not prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother subject. So
Yeah,
let's
so we're gonna. So hey, so
that's a whole nother subject.
I'm the
And,
time management. I'm the time management guys. So real quick, man. Before we hit this hour, real quick. So Luke wrote on Coach Lopez. He said, "Tell everyone." He said, "Edge." When you mentioned position, I think he's talking about edge. Justin
Edge.
Maddox. He said
Yes, sir.
LB.
Edge and outside linebacker.
Let me go down some more comments here.
It translates immediately.
Why doesn't that show me all the comments for some
Edge
reason?
and outside linebacker. It translates immediately.
Exactly. Closer to the ball, you learn the game better, right? Playing edge, outside linebacker, you're trying to have the best combination. I can rush, I can drop back in coverage, I can stand up. It's harder, guys, to just put your hands in the ground and then back up. But if I'm standing off the edge, I can rush the edge, I can drop out. Like a Mike Jones who played, it was a hybrid. KJ Dillon was a hybrid. Manny Milano was a hybrid. These guys that running 4.6 and 4.7 in high school went to Michigan, Boston College, and West Virginia. And guess what? He won the NFL and one of the highest paid linebacker now, Manny Milano. He wasn't the
So,
best one. He went
so
to
real
defense.
quick, so Moss's Lugo, he said, "Don't count us out just yet. Go Knights." How do y'all feel about
Well, you know
go
what?
Knights?
If we had to put
Wait,
down a sleeper, if we got to do a sleeper a sleeper team, my sleeper team this year really was the team that I thought gonna shock people was Okoye because they deep inside the ball. They got some young guys that getting coached up are real good, and they held a Popka all the way, like 7 point, pretty much a whole game like that. But at the same time, I know the limo work on offense to help them overcome. Defense win game, but in this game at a high level, they got to get some more offense to put together. If they find some offense with the way that defense popping, I can see Okoye make a run in the playoffs.
All right.
okay.
So
My sleeper team,
he said
I would
he said
I
one
would have
he said 100, Coach Lowe.
okay. Sleeper team. I mean, to be honest, we ended up giving them credit. It would have been Dr. Phillips.
Yes. Okay.
A lot of people didn't have them highly touted. We slept on them. Max Preps, they were not within the top 25 with it, well, top 15 within this area. So I would say Dr. Phillips is my sleeper team, and I think they will be a great team this season.
Right. Listen, I know we stepped out here for the first time. We doing like a premiere, a pre-show right now, but I want to piggyback more of this on the next time we come on. We'll start having it set in stone. Everybody know when to tune in live on Sports Club Florida. But I want to throw out a piggyback on Ron. Was it Ron from Bishop Moore? What's
Ron
Ron?
Stroder.
Ron Stroder, right? And then whether it's offense, whether it was JV or whether it was Voss, I don't know. But I want to make sure people understand coming up from youth football to high school, you need to be prepared mentally, physically, and vocally, right? And make sure you're ready to go because you got guys like Lamar Garrison up there at Leesburg. He went out.
Yes, sir.
Lamar Garrison went there and got 3 touchdown catches against University. Was a powerhouse team? No, it wasn't. But the line and play on a high level football like that, get 3 touchdowns as a true freshman. Shout out to Lamar Garrison up in Leesburg, wide receiver. Then I gotta go get player of the week. Player of the week, Tony Duke Johnson at Toho with player
Oh
of
yeah, dude.
yeah, Duke was on varsity right now. Getting
So
thrown the ball from
every
7.
last one
Yeah.
of these players played in the R&R Top 100 Super Showcase this January.
Exactly.
So by all means, we are identifying these athletes earlier than later. So please make sure that you support what we're doing, trying to get the kids out here and just give them a platform to get noticed before
Right.
their window of opportunity is too.
And
And-
go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Mr.
go ahead,
Mike.
Coach.
I did want to throw in one kid of sleep that people don't even know about already. This kid, an FBU player, one of the best top player on our team, named Juju White out of South Lake. Already got two picks and 3-4 breakup and a pick 6 already. A freshman playing as a freshman again. So you got these freshman kids out there playing on varsity. Now I'm not talking about 6 quarter. I'm talking about 4-quarter varsity. That's huge. But listen what Katt said. They coming from where? The R&R program. They're coming from the FBU program. They're coming from the Excel Speed program. Come from the different right places that prepare them and put them in the place to be the best. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that camp season. But we keep recognizing some of the top underclassmen in Central Florida.
Yeah, and so I want to just a couple of things real quick, you guys. That's tuning in. Basically, I want to say, stay tuned to Sports Club Florida as we have way more to come. We have way more to come. We have Katt. That's if he's over R&R Sports Media, and we're gonna have some talk. We're gonna be talking about some youth stuff too as well. I think it's very important for us to discuss youth because youth transition over to high school. And as you can see, we'll have another segment because this is major. There's a lot of freshmen that's playing high school that is doing very, very well. And the transition started. Oh my God.
Big shout out to AJ Sean. Boy, you are throwing that thing. I'm so proud of you. You hear me?
Yeah,
I love you, boy.
Katt is another show. Katt is another show.
I had to squeeze that one in.
Boy,
I had to
look,
sneak that one in.
we
Hey,
wanted
AJ,
to we supposed to play Cat anyways, real quick, but
I
I
like
want
the
you guys to. I want you guys to stay tuned and pay attention to Sports Club Florida. Go to our website probably next week. It'll be live. We'll be having our own ranking from high school to all the Florida kids, our own ranking. You can go to one website to see all the kids that's ranked in Florida. And you're going to have Coach Lowe and Katt's rankings on there too as well. Eventually, I just guys want you guys to pay attention. Also, we're gonna have coming up R&R. They're gonna have their own show too as well to talk about the youth and talk about the transition that you have been seeing these youth kids that he is mentioning that has went to FBU, that has been on R&R, all these different platforms that's making a big impact right now. We have named, how many have we just named, you guys? How many kids we just named that's actually you got Lakeland, Lakeland. Why can't I think of that boy? The Cam got
Cameron Fuse, man.
Yeah, Cameron
Yeah.
Few from Lakeland. I ain't
Cam
Cameron Few from
Cam
Lakeland.
started.
Anthony Howard from
Yep.
Arbondale. You got
Auburndale. My boy
Tony
had
Duke Johnson.
103 yards and
Yeah, already.
I think he had 103 yards in like a tub. My boy Tony Duke Brown, he was player of the game for Toho, had 11 catches for 80 plus yards and a touchdown. That one, boy, you hear me? Oh man, I got them.
This is crazy. hey, not to mention, we're gonna also tap into these kids that just transitioned that's playing in college too, you guys. We're not just forget all different levels, you guys. We're gonna be having some. We'll talk about some youth, not so much. This will be more on Katt's platform, but we're gonna talk about the transition. We'll talk about high school. We're gonna talk about college, and we're also gonna talk about pros too as well, you guys, because it's all about Florida. As you know, Florida has the talent. I'm from Alabama, and just now being here, I definitely see the talent that was here. I wish I lived here when I was in high school, but that's a whole nother subject. And I would have been doing Excel speed with Coach Love, possibility.
Listen, yeah. And you've been in NFL too, Kyle. As you can see in the background, baby. You see all the NFL boys. I would like to say this right here. I'm a little right now. I know I'm wearing the hat right now, but I got to show you the two of my dogs right quick. Zachary Tobe from Ocoy High School, who went to Georgia Tech. And yeah, he took us down. He had 2 solo tackle, proud of him. Then I got to talk about Edgewater Final, one of my boys too. One of them boys, Kristen Leary. Tech had a return for 20 yards. So we got
I see that.
That went the dub over there in Ireland, and it took me down. But know what? Since I trained them, I'm all right with it.
Well, we'll end with that one right there because I like that we ended with Kristen Leary and what's the name? I met him last year up there at Georgia Tech, and also when I went to an Alabama game, I got some shots of him when he was at Alabama. So we definitely end off that, man. I think it was a great show on this first one, you guys. We had quite a few people on. I think at one time we had like 30 people on at one time. So good first show, you guys, man. Let's keep on killing it. And y'all guys have a good night that's tuning in, and see y'all next week. And it'll be live on YouTube too this week, you guys. Peace.
High school wrap up.
That's
high school wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.